promise that Thinking Capital had back 10, 12 years ago still is maintaining itself in the context of supporting these small, medium businesses.
Let's talk about Thinking Capital. For those who haven't heard about it, if you could give us, the Coles Note version of what Thinking Capital is and how it's different from its competitors.
Well, Thinking Capital kind of emerged around 2008, 2009 economic crisis. At the time, banks were retrenching or retreating from providing capital to small, medium businesses. And companies like Thinking Capital, and there's some companies in the US and some companies in Canada that emerged around that period of time, really were acting as a bridge to help organizations take it to another level if you were of a certain size. So if you were a restaurant or a retailer or a beauty salon and you needed funds to basically fund your next investment of some sort or be reactive to an issue that you weren't anticipating and needed some capital, banks weren't necessarily there for you. And companies like Thinking Capital came about. And with the right type of evolution of our risk models, we were able to find the right segments of customers out there where we could provide loans. At the time it was term loans, and it was called merchant capital advance, that aligned to the expectations of the customers and allowed them to fuel their growth and operations as required. So it really was designed, built on the backs of a model that allowed us to basically fill a gap that was in the marketplace for small, medium businesses. And we all know there's a ton of small, medium businesses in Canada, and it's very diverse as well, right? There's a big difference between a car mechanic and a retailer or a restaurant. And now with the evolving economy too, there's so many different sectors that are becoming more and more important to us. And there's a digital element to a lot of these organizations as well. So all in all, I still think that the promise that Thinking Capital had back 10, 12 years ago still is maintaining itself in the context of supporting these small, medium businesses evolve or fix issues that they might have. And again, because we're there to support the SMB space, and it's not just about access to capital, it's timeliness, access to capital. All these things are very, very important to allow these organizations to maintain their stability or their growth.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your own professional journey and how it's led you to this role at Thinking Capital?
I kind of started off somewhere in the early to mid 90s in a more of a brick and mortar environment, but I was intrigued by what was happening with technology at the time. The internet was upon us, the internet age, and a lot of crazy things were happening towards the late 90s and the dot-com boom. And that kind of attracted me to the industry. And I've never really left technology since then. Got to work with that IPO'd, went through some early days with organizations that became global entities such as Monster.com. And from there, learned a lot about how people could use technology to better their business and better their lives. And in the last 10 years or so, I've been working with kind of more private equity owned companies in particular who've leveraged these ideas and created value with a number of companies out there. And I've been part of that from an operational and a strategic perspective.